If you sell puts for income, running the wheel, cash secured puts, premium selling, this is not a video telling you that you're doing it wrong. Honestly, you're already ahead of most traders. But there's a trap underneath it. It only shows up in one scenario, and when it hits, it can erase months or even years worth of gains in a single week. In this video, I'll show you exactly how the trap works on real stock market moves from this year and last. Then I'll show you the small change I make, a real trade I just put on that keeps the income and fixes the trap. I'm not here to predict the market. I don't make predictions. I'm here to show you a structure that wins more than one way. My whole job, teach you to win when you're right, win when you're wrong, and never gamble. Stay until the end, because even if you've never sold an option before, you'll understand this completely. First, what selling a put even means. Selling a put means that you agree to buy a stock at a lower price, and you get paid cash today for agreeing to do so. It's a buy it on sale order below today's price, except that you get paid to place it. That's why it's so popular. If the stock never drops to your price, you keep the cash. Do it over and over, and it feels like free income. And that feeling, the free income, is exactly where the trap is hiding. Why selling puts is so seductive. The income is real. You collect premium today in cash. That part is not a scam. The win rate is high. Most puts expire worthless, so you win most months. It feels like easy money. If you're already doing this, you're more disciplined than the gambler who's buying lottery ticket call options. So I respect that. So I'm not going to tell you to stop. I'm going to show you the one scenario that quietly blows it up and the fix that you can easily implement. How the trap springs, step by step. When VIX is low, meaning when there's a calm market, when there's low premiums, you're paid very little money for every put that you sell. So in order to keep up with the market, you end up selling more in order to hit your income goals. Now you find yourself overexposed. Then what sometimes happens is that the market crashes or it pulls back. A 5 to 10% pullback in the market can lead to an increase in VIX of 50% or even more, which can cause a margin call at the absolute worst time. The trap is that low volatility quietly lures you into max exposure right before the storm. This isn't a theory. It happens very often. In fact, it happened twice recently. February and March of 2026, the VIX went from about 16 to 35. It more than doubled. From March to April of 2025, VIX went from about 16 to about 60 in just 2 weeks. It increased by nearly 4 times. Both times, put sellers who loaded up in the calm hoping to keep up with the market, they ended up getting margin called and forced to close at the bottom. Sometimes people will tell me, yeah, but I only sell cash secured puts. I can't possibly blow up. And that's fair. Cash secured puts means no margin calls. You won't get wiped out. That is genuinely safer. But now you have a different problem. Your maximum profit is the tiny amount of premium that you collected. When the market rips higher, you do not participate. Your cash is tied up in earning scraps while stocks run. This is why people frequently say that selling put options is picking up pennies in front of a steamroller. So if you sell cash secured puts only, then it's not a blow up, but it's quiet underperformance. Your capital inefficient and it compounds against you. Selling puts alone, the scoreboard. Premium selling alone, your max profit is going to be the premium that you collected. You're going to be forced to sell more in low VIX environments just to keep up with the market. You're at margin call risk when the VIX spikes. And if you're selling cash secured puts, it's almost guaranteed underperformance during a rising market. What you actually want. In an ideal situation, you'd want to keep the income and participate in the upside. You would have defined intentional exposure. That way you're less prone to experience a margin call. There will be no forced closing out your positions at the bottom. There is a way to keep what's good about selling puts and also to fix what's broken. So here's the question that changes everything. What if you could still sell the put, but not rely on the premium alone? What if that premium financed a second trade that profits when the stock goes up? So you win whether it rises or you get your discount. That's the fix. I call it the financed bull. And I just put one on. Let me show you the real trade and the real fill. This is the same put selling with a much better structure. Step 1, you sell the put exactly like you already do, only at a price you'd be thrilled to own the stock. Step 2, use that premium to finance a call debit spread, a defined cost trade that profits as the stock rises. Now you win more than one way. If the stock goes up, the call debit spread pays you out. If the stock dips to your strike price, you own it at a huge discount. If the stock doesn't move, you keep the original credit. Same income engine as selling puts, but you stop relying on collecting premium alone. So the VIX trap cannot corner you. Let me prove this is real, not just a theoretical whiteboard idea. In early June 2026, VIX had jumped from about 16 to 21. This indicates rising fear. Prior to that, the market had gone up for 9 straight weeks. During that 9-week bullish market, naive put sellers would have tried to keep up with the market by increasing their size substantially. Then they would have experienced an increase in the VIX, where almost all of their short naked puts would have ended up showing them a big loss. Instead, what I did, I put on a finance bull trade on SMH, the semiconductor ETF. Here's the actual fill from my account. You can see that I opened it for a credit. I sold the 480 put option, a price where I'd love to own SMH, and I used that premium to finance the 612.5 by 625 call debit spread. And I actually got paid for putting on this trade. How this SMH trade wins: up, down, or sideways. If SMH goes up, the call spread profits. I can make up to $1,250 per one lot. And this trade has already shown me a profit of $300 in just 2 days. If SMH goes down and it falls to 480, then I'll take ownership of it. The CHIP ETF would need to fall about 25% below its highs, and I still keep the credit. If SMH doesn't move much and it trades sideways, I still profit from the credit that I received, and the call debit spread and the naked puts expire worthless, so there's no harm. On the other hand, a pure put seller can only win one way. The finance bull wins 3 ways. And again, why this beats selling puts alone? The max profit on this trade is not a small, tiny premium. It's $1,250 per one lot on the call spread, which is over $6,000 if I had done 5 of these. I'm not forced to sell more puts to chase income and keep up with the market. The call spread does the heavy lifting on the upside, and I get the same downside I already wanted, which is to own SMH at 480. But now I also profit if it rips higher. That's the whole edge. Quick, don't leave yet. I'm about to show you the real account these trades come from, and the one honest risk nobody who's selling you a quote-unquote safe income strategy will admit. Because if I don't say this part, then I'm no better than the people who taught you the trap in the first place. The honest risk, let me be precise, this is not a risk-defined trade. The put I sold is a short, undefined risk option. I want you to know that. If SMH craters far below 480, then I'll end up owning it much higher than I wanted. A real loss, which is not a free lunch. That's the trade-off. I sell the naked put anyway, but only at a price I'd be genuinely happy to own it. That discipline is the entire game. No trade is risk-free. This one just pays me to take a risk I already wanted, instead of relying on premium alone. Here's the proof. This is the real account these trades come from. This is real, verified, and not hype. And these are the same trades that I send my Trade Alerts members in real time. Who's telling you this? I'm a former Wall Street investment banker, Ivy League graduate, and every trade I show is real and verified. These are the exact trades I send my members in real time, and you can get them too. There's a 14-day trial, link is in the description. Even if you've never sold an option before, start there. I'm not anti-options, I'm anti-blowing up. The finance bull is how I keep the income without the trap. So here's the takeaway. Selling puts is not evil. Relying on the premium alone is the trap. Low volatility and low VIX environments, they lure you in. A spike in the VIX and a market crash corners you. And cash secured puts are almost guaranteed to underperform and be very capital inefficient. Finance a call spread with that same premium and you flip the odds in your favor. Income, upside, and a discount you'd already want. That's the finance bull. If you want every one of these trades in real time, the link is below. And tell me in the comments, which stock should I run my finance bull on next? Your pick could be the next video. Win when you're right, win when you're wrong, never gamble. I'll see you in the next one.